my best friend, lied to everyone I knew, cost me my career, and stole the only man I ever loved, until I gathered all her victims and publicly exposed her secrets. Now, 2 years later, she's texting my family asking for help because no one else will answer. When I stepped off the plane from Alaska and saw my best friend's ultimate betrayal, I felt my whole world shatter. Alexa and I met in elementary school. She was the loud one. I was the weird, quiet girl who liked books and frogs. But for some reason, she adopted me, told me I was her favorite person. Then she slowly started trying to mold me into her dream best friend. You see, Alexa always wanted to be seen as the one who knew better, who fixed people. She had this weird obsession with introducing people and playing matchmaker. She even took credit for my mom meeting my now stepdad. That match actually worked, which made it harder to say anything when she kept setting me up with the most insufferable guys on the planet, like Aaron, who asked me if I could Venmo him back for half a muffin on our first date, or Jamie, who said women over 30 were basically expired, or Logan, who straight up ghosted me and then told Alexa I was boring. I started to notice a pattern. Every guy she picked for me made me feel smaller, and every time it didn't work out, she got this look in her eyes, like she'd known all along, like she wanted it that way. Back in high school, there was only one guy I ever really liked. His name was Bryce. He was a transfer student, sat next to me in chemistry. He asked me about the notes I took in different colored pens, told me he liked how I thought. He didn't laugh when I said I wanted to study glacier formations. We clicked. I told Alexa I liked him. She told me to play it cool, be chill, don't make a move. 2 weeks later, Bryce was gone, moved again. That was that. Now I'm 28, still single, still getting texts from Alexa with the subject line, possible soulmate. I had stopped responding to most of them. I didn't even bother pretending anymore. Then I ran into Bryce at the grocery store. He was back in town. He looked older, obviously, but also kind. He remembered me. We exchanged numbers, and I felt that weird buzz in my chest again. I told Alexa, just in passing. Her eyes lit up like Christmas. She told me the three of us had to have coffee and catch up together. I said maybe just me and him. She ignored that. The next day, we met at a cafe. Me, Alexa, and Bryce. It was like a weird high school reunion with tension. Bryce and I clicked immediately, but every time I started to ask something more personal, Alexa cut in. She kept steering the conversation back to her. Her new job, her new dog, her new diet. I barely got a word in. Later that night, she texted me, said she didn't really see me and Bryce together, but that she'd support me either way. I told her I was going to ask him out anyway. She said she was proud of me, but then he started pulling away. He left me on red, canceled coffee, said he was busy, then just stopped replying. 2 weeks later, Alexa told me her mom's science team was looking for a temporary field assistant for a research trip to Antarctica. I had wanted that job since I was 17. I cried when I got the offer. I left. Months later, I came back, and I opened Instagram. That's when I saw it. Alexa and Bryce, together holding hands on a pumpkin farm. Caption said, sometimes the best things come when you least expect them. I didn't respond. I didn't say anything when they got engaged 6 months later either. I got the invitation and put it in a drawer. Then I saw Alexa's mom again. We were talking about how great the Antarctica trip was and some of the findings, when she asked me why I hadn't taken the job earlier. She said she was shocked when Alexa told her I wasn't interested when it first started, but was glad I changed my mind, even if it was after the experiment had already started. I just stood there, smiled. Later, a mutual friend let something slip. Said Alexa used to vent about always being compared to me, that she hated how people liked me more even though she was the one who was always the best at everything, that she'd been jealous for years. Then Bryce's ex-roommate told me that Alexa said I had a history of toxic relationships, that I once tried to sabotage a friend's engagement. All lies. Apparently she told him right after our coffee meetup. Everything clicked. She had been sabotaging me for years, lying, controlling the narrative, making sure I never got too close to something she wanted for herself, including Bryce. I went to my mom, told her what I found. She sighed and said maybe Alexa had a point, that I needed to stop holding grudges, that Alexa just wanted what was best for me. I disagreed, so I recorded a video, told the whole story, from the high school crush to the Antarctica job, all the fake setups and lies. Then I sent it to Bryce, to his family, to her family, to every mutual friend who ever thought Alexa was a saint. Then I disappeared, logged off everything, blocked numbers, took a temp job in another city. 3 weeks later, I got a letter, no return address, just Bryce's handwriting. Said he was sorry, said the wedding was off. A day later, I got an anonymous message. You think you won, but I'm not done with you yet. It was Alexa. Her voice is unmistakable. The first sign she wasn't lying came when my new landlord called. Said someone reported me for having pets in a no-pet apartment. I don't have pets. Never have. But suddenly I had to prove it. Had to let them inspect my place twice. The landlord seemed apologetic but insisted on following protocol. Then my temp job got a call. Someone claiming to be my previous employer said I'd stolen office supplies. Complete lie. My boss pulled me aside, asked what was going on. I told her it was personal drama. She looked skeptical but let it slide. I could tell she was keeping a closer eye on me after that. Next came the dating apps. Profiles with my photos started popping up everywhere. The bio said I was looking for sugar daddies. My coworkers found them, started giving me weird looks. I reported every profile but new ones kept appearing, each one more vulgar than the last. I changed my number, moved apartments, but somehow she kept finding me. Pizza deliveries I never ordered, magazine subscriptions. One time 30 boxes showed up from an online retailer, all cash on delivery. The delivery driver was furious when I refused them. I started documenting everything, screenshots, recordings, receipts, built a folder on my laptop called Evidence. Backed it up to 3 different cloud services just to be safe. Then I got a text from an unknown number, a photo of me at the grocery store, taken that morning. The message said, nice bananas. I called my brother Christopher. He's good with tech stuff. Asked him to help me figure out how she was tracking me. He found an app on my phone I'd never downloaded. Some location sharing thing buried deep in my settings. We deleted it, but the harassment continued. My car tires got slashed. Someone keyed LIAR into the paint. The cameras at my apartment complex mysteriously weren't working that night. The security guard just shrugged when I asked about it. I reached out to Bryce's ex-roommate again. His name was Mason. Asked if he'd be willing to help. He said Alexa had been acting crazy since the breakup. Said she'd shown up at his place demanding to know what he'd told me. She'd been drinking, crying, screaming that I'd ruined her life. Mason introduced me to his girlfriend Lauren. She worked in HR and knew about workplace harassment. She helped me organize my evidence properly, taught me how to document incidents with dates and times, showed me how to write everything in neutral language that would hold up if I ever needed it legally. We started finding patterns. The harassment always happened after Alexa posted on social media. Like she'd get angry seeing people support me online and then lash out. Her posts were always perfectly crafted. Inspirational quotes about moving forward, photos of her thriving. But underneath, she was spiraling. I reached out to more people from our past. Found out Alexa had done this before. To a girl named Catherine in college who'd gotten a scholarship Alexa wanted. To her cousin Dorothy who dated a guy Alexa liked. Each person had a story. Each one thought they were alone. We started a group chat, shared our experiences, built a timeline going back 15 years. The pattern was always the same. Befriend, manipulate, destroy. The evidence gathering took months of careful coordination, but we knew we needed everything documented perfectly. Then things escalated. Someone called my mom's work, said I was having a mental breakdown, that I needed help. My mom called me crying, asked if I was okay. I had to explain everything again. She finally started to believe me. Alexa's mom reached out next, said she was worried about me, that Alexa had shown her concerning posts I'd supposedly made, posts that didn't exist. I showed her my actual social media. She went quiet. I could hear her breathing on the other end of the line before she hung up. The turning point came when someone sent explicit photos to my stepdad's work email. Photos that weren't me but had my face badly photoshopped on. He called me immediately. We went to the police together. The officer took a report. Said without proof it was Alexa. There wasn't much they could do. But having the report on file helped. Made it official. She gave me a case number and told me to document any future incidents. I kept working with Christopher and Mason. We set up security cameras. Changed all my passwords. Got a VPN. Started being more careful about what I posted online. Christopher even taught me how to check for tracking devices on my car. Then Lauren found something interesting. Alexa had been using her work computer to access certain websites. The same sites where the fake profiles appeared. Her company tracked employee internet usage. Lauren couldn't get the records, but she knew they existed. We needed Alexa to mess up, to leave evidence that pointed directly to her. So I did something risky. I unblocked her on one platform, posted a photo of me at a specific coffee shop, tagged the location, waited. Sure enough, she showed up, but I wasn't there. Mason was. He recorded her asking the barista about me, getting angry when they said I'd left. She knocked over a display on her way out, called the barista an idiot. The coffee shop had cameras. The manager gave us the footage after we explained the situation. Now we had her on video. Clear as day. Face visible. License plate visible as she peeled out of the parking lot. I started reaching out to her other victims. Built a network. We compared notes. Found out she'd used the same tactics on everyone. The fake profiles. The workplace calls. The anonymous messages. Even the same insults. One woman, Susan, still had emails from when Alexa targeted her. Another, Catherine, had saved voicemails. We compiled everything into one massive folder, cross-referenced dates and methods. The evidence was overwhelming. Then I made a decision. Instead of hiding, I'd confront this head-on. I reached out to Alexa's inner circle, the people she'd manipulated over the years, told them I wanted to meet, to show them something important. Most ignored me, but a few agreed, including her mom. And surprisingly, Bryce. We met at a neutral location, a community center conference room. I brought Mason and Lauren as support, had my laptop ready with all the evidence. My hands were shaking as I set up the presentation. As people arrived, I could see the doubt in their eyes. Alexa had probably already told them I was unstable, jealous, making things up. I took a deep breath and began. I started with the facts, showed them the timeline, the patterns, the evidence from multiple people spanning over a decade. Kept my voice steady, didn't get emotional, just presented fact after fact after fact. Alexa's mom's face changed as she recognized names, recognized incidents, started asking questions. When did this happen? Why didn't anyone tell her? Her hands covered her mouth as the reality sank in. Bryce looked sick. Said Alexa had told him so many stories about me, about how I was obsessed with him, how I'd tried to break them up before. All lies. He kept running his hands through his hair, shaking his head. Then I showed them the recent harassment, the photos, the videos, the police report, the fake profile still active online, the coffee shop footage where she was clearly looking for me. The room got quiet. Someone asked why I hadn't come forward sooner. I explained how Alexa operated, how she isolated people, made them doubt themselves, made others doubt them, how she was always one step ahead, always had an explanation ready. Her mom started crying, said she'd noticed changes in Alexa over the years, the lying, the manipulation, but she'd made excuses, thought it was just competitiveness, thought she'd grow out of it. We talked for 2 hours. People shared their own experiences, things they'd noticed but dismissed, red flags they'd ignored, stories that suddenly made sense in this new context. By the end, everyone agreed something had to be done. We couldn't let her keep doing this to people, but we had to be smart about it. We had to protect ourselves while stopping her from hurting anyone else. We decided on an intervention, not the soft kind where everyone cries and hugs, the kind where everyone she'd manipulated would be in one room, where she couldn't run or deflect or lie her way out. Her mom set it up, told Alexa she needed help planning a family reunion, asked her to come to the community center to look at the space. Alexa agreed immediately, probably thought she'd get to control another event. The day came fast. I got there early with Mason and Lauren. We set up chairs in a circle, put the evidence on a table in the middle. My stomach was doing flips. Christopher texted me good luck from his car outside. He was our backup plan if things went sideways. People started arriving. Bryce came with his sister. Alexa's mom brought her sister. Catherine flew in from 2 states away. Dorothy drove 3 hours. Catherine took the day off work. Even some of Alexa's high school friends showed up, people she'd burned over the years. We all sat there waiting. Nobody really talked. just nervous energy filling the room. Then we heard her car, that distinctive engine sound. My heart started pounding. She walked in smiling, carrying color swatches and a binder. The smile froze when she saw us all sitting there. Her eyes darted around the room, landed on me. The look she gave me could have melted steel. Her mom stood up, told her to sit down, that we needed to talk. Alexa tried to leave, but Bryce's sister blocked the door. Not threatening, just standing there. Alexa's face went red. She sat down, crossed her arms, said this was ridiculous, that she didn't have time for whatever weird game I was playing. Her mom told her to listen. Just listen. We went around the circle. Each person told their story. Catherine talked about losing the scholarship, how Alexa had submitted a complaint about her essay being plagiarized. It wasn't, but the damage was done. Dorothy shared how Alexa had told her boyfriend she was cheating. She wasn't, but he believed Alexa. They broke up. She found out years later when he apologized. Catherine described the anonymous letters her boss received, saying she was stealing, that she was unstable. She almost lost her job, only kept it because her boss knew her character. Person after person, story after story. Alexa kept trying to interrupt, kept saying they were lying, that I'd poisoned them against her. But the evidence was right there. Emails, screenshots, recordings. When it was my turn, I kept it simple. Showed the coffee shop video, the fake profiles, the police report, the timeline of harassment. I didn't get emotional, just stated facts. Alexa's mom was the last to speak. She talked about watching her daughter become someone she didn't recognize, about the lies she'd caught her in, about the family members who distanced themselves, about how she'd enabled it by always making excuses. The room went quiet. Alexa sat there. Her face was stone. Then she laughed, said we were all pathetic, that we were jealous of her success, that she'd tried to help us, and this was how we repaid her. Her mom pulled out her phone, showed Alexa the evidence folder. All of it. Every lie documented. Every pattern mapped out. Every victim's story verified. Told her it was over. The games, the manipulation, all of it. Alexa's mask finally cracked. She started screaming, called me every name imaginable, said I'd ruined her life, that everything was my fault, that she'd made me who I was and I'd betrayed her. Bryce stood up, told her to stop, said he'd seen who she really was now, that their whole relationship had been built on lies, that he felt sick thinking about how she'd manipulated him. She turned on him next, started listing his flaws, his insecurities, things he'd told her in confidence. He just shook his head and walked out. His sister followed. One by one, people started leaving. Each person told Alexa they were done. No more contact, no more chances, no more enabling. Her mom was the last to go. She hugged her daughter, said she loved her but couldn't watch her hurt people anymore, said therapy was non-negotiable if she wanted any relationship going forward. Then it was just me and Alexa. She stared at me with pure hatred, told me I'd won, that she hoped I was happy. I told her I wasn't happy. I was free. I left her sitting there, alone, surrounded by evidence of what she'd done. Christopher drove me home. I cried the whole way. Not sad tears, relief. The harassment stopped immediately. The fake profiles disappeared. The calls ended. She knew we had too much evidence now. Too many witnesses. Too much proof. I heard through the grapevine that she moved cities, started therapy, lost most of her friend group. Her mom still talks to her but with boundaries. Strict ones. I rebuilt quietly, got a better job, made real friends, started dating someone who actually likes me for me. Not someone Alexa approved of, just someone I met at a bookstore who thinks my glacier obsession is cool. Sometimes I wonder if she's changed, if therapy helped, if she found new victims, but mostly I don't think about her at all. That's the real victory. She's just not part of my story anymore. The intervention worked because it wasn't about revenge. It was about truth, about showing her that her games had consequences, that people compare notes, that manipulation has an expiration date. My life isn't perfect now, but it's mine. Nobody else gets to write my script, and that's worth everything.